financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the amazing show, the CEO Show Live. And tonight we are coming to you prepared for another amazing episode. Remember, we are doing episode number 40, and we are so excited to host and to have one amazing guest prepared for you tonight. Remember, we didn't come to you live last week because of 1, 2, 3 issues, but we thank God that we are back to you live like we never left. Who is our guest tonight? Our guest tonight is one amazing individual. This is the founder and also the patron of one amazing CBO that is known as KILIMANI BUDA CBO. And Mr. Kevin Kibore is going to share his amazing story and, most importantly, the inspiration behind the start and also the running of this great CBO. His story is going to be inspiring. It's an amazing story that you can't afford to miss. You can't afford even to move out of this. Please be there. Where are we coming live from? We are coming live from Facebook, and also we are live on YouTube. Please ensure that you share this conversation for somebody to know that you are part of this great conversation. And also drop a comment on the comment section. Tell us where you're watching from and if you're getting us loud and clear. And also if you have any question to this amazing guest for us tonight, please don't hesitate to ask so that he'll be in a position to answer in the course of this particular bulletin. This show is always about inspiration, it's all about insights and very educative. Mr. Kevin Kibore, karibu.
Asante sana.
Tunasema Buda.
Buda.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Asante sana.
Okay.
Yes.
Karibu. Tell us about yourself. Brief introduction. Oh. Who is Kevin Kibore?
You know, that is a very wide question, eh? But I will try to at least cut it down,
yeah, sure,
and summarize it a bit. Kevin is a happy person, for one, a person who loves the Lord, and a person who has taken time to build a career out of pushing for social change initiatives within the community. I must say I'm a clinician by profession. I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I must say I'm a community person. I've been passionate about serving the community like from the days of my childhood, and today I happen to be the patron and founder of this community outfit. It's a grassroots organization called KILIMANI BUDA CBO.
Okay.
So that is who Kevin is in a nutshell.
Just going back to back in the days, Kevin, because yes, I'm sure now you are a clinician, you have a lot of hats.
Yes.
But before we go into details of the same,
yes,
tell us, where did you grow? Tell us about your background. Which school did you attend? Just I know it can be a long story, but in a nutshell.
Yes. Yeah, like just like you said, it's indeed a journey, but I've been born and bred in Eldoret town, now Eldoret city, and just born within the municipal estates of West Kihuga. I attended school just at the hood. I went to St. Mary's Primary, went to Kapsoya Primary, went to Union Primary, went to Testimony. All this not because I had any funny records, but I think it was because of how parents by then used to do things. I managed to secure a space post-primary at Kapsabet High School, the lands of Kenya right now. And after that, I joined medical college and I pursued clinical medicine. And I've been in practice all along. And right now, I serve as a private and clinician under the KILIMANI BUDA CBO outfit. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now, because being raised in the municipal area and in town, basically, can we say that it shaped you, who you wanted to be? Because sometimes you find that when somebody mtu amelelewa kwa jiji, if I can say,
yes,
did it? What were the experiences that shaped who you are currently?
I'd say it contributed a lot. Being raised from a neighborhood where there is a high population, it's not sparsely populated, it's very populated, because these are those sort of communal kind of living. Let's say we practice more of communism there. And we go to school together, we meet people of diverse culture, and we went to school with guys from all walks, and you see that shapes the kind of person you are. And you start maybe attracting a bit of character from what your experiences are as you journey on. And I must say, even right now as I serve in the same community I've been born and bred, I think it's because of those gaps that I used to see when I was young. You see, you desire a place where you people, as young people, I mean, I was also full of art. I mean, if given a chance in this show, I can sing. You see, but you see, we never had those spaces where people would really help us invest even in talent and sport. We had those facilities, but they were run down by the previous governments, and so we never had a chance to explore our talent and art gifts. So as a young man, I thought it wise that as I grow on, and if God gives me this chance, I'm going to ensure the people of where I come from are going to enjoy the social space. Okay. Technically.
Okay. Yeah. Now, being interested now, moving immediately after high school, were you looking forward to become a clinician, or is it something that, where did you get the inspiration now to pursue now the professional side of you? Who inspired you to pursue that, or where was the push coming from?
I think the interest was just within. since I discovered of all the things I loved learning was what science was telling me. And I really loved about learning about life, plants, photosynthesis, talk about the study of animals, talk about reproduction system. And so those are stories that or rather knowledge that I really loved gaining. And over time, I developed the interest. Science and agriculture was one of my best subjects in primary school. When I went to high school, I really loved biology. Yeah, so going there, doing those practicals, seeing how life is precious and delicate, and how you can preserve it, and what contributes to promotion of life, what contributes to us maybe developing a short span of the things that we see, be it plants or animals. I think I developed the interest. So after high school, I thought it very wise that probably now that I've been having this interest, I can invest in preserving, rather promoting life. And what is that? That is health. And that is how I got into doing clinical medicine.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, did you find satisfaction of getting into doing clinical medicine? Did you find satisfaction finally? And did you practice?
Yes. When I went to school, I now got deeper into learning about human medicine, and I really loved it. Though I must tell you that practicing behind a desk on a day-to-day basis was a challenge. I think I never felt fulfilled in that. I never felt like I'm supposed to be seated somewhere and just practice my medicine from 8 to 5 every day. I always felt that there is something great for me outside there. I always felt that like someone who can be at the community level and try and do and help. Because most of those things that we meet in terms of disease or infirmities, they hail from even the standard of living that we have. So I believe that one solution to giving medical help is actually attacking these problems from the community level. So when I was seated on a desk, I never felt like I was doing anything. I never felt satisfied. I never felt actualized. But the minute I stepped out of the desk and I went to the field, I'm really feeling good. I want to see what actually ails the people at the grassroots. What happens before someone comes out and gives out a complaint? Why is this person having loose stools? Why is this person coughing? Why is this person unable to take this? Why is it that when you take water, you're happy with it, and when the other person is taking water, they're having other reactions? And you come and you discover that most of these things that people suffer from, they'll be easier solved if they were given information, knowledge, education about it. Then even some of these people would not be visiting hospitals at this juncture. So I feel now that is better than any other thing. Yes, it's even better than what most people call neuromedicine. Yeah.
And were you employed?
Yeah. In my work, I was employed. I mean, I've been employed like in a number of health institutions. Funny enough, ever since I qualified, I've just been doing contracts. So I've done contracts with Global Fund, done contracts with USAID, done contracts with the Dolet Hospital, IVC KILIMANI Mission Hospital, Mercy Hospital. I think I've worked in like 7 facilities ever since I qualified. In short, I have like an over 20 years experience of clinical work.
But now in contract terms. But what was it holding you back now from fully practicing? Zeroing down to one hospital and practicing medicine, and rather than just having these short-term contracts, was there a reason behind it?
At the back of my mind, just like I said, I never felt fulfilled in a hospital kind of setup. I always felt like I'm supposed to be somewhere out in the field doing something that can help us promote health at the grassroots level. I will never feel fulfilled when someone comes in and is already sick. As always of that thought, I think it's just a culture that was built in that prevention is better than cure. So in terms of medicine, I always am that person who's thinking about the prevention part of it. What can we do before we become sick? Yes. So I think if there's something that I've majored in now, is that just part of going into promoting health so that we can major on the prevention part and less about what? About now curative part of medicine.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now just in connection directly to what you are currently doing.
Yes.
Because we now want to understand, what was now the inspiration? We'll talk about now the CBO, BUDA
Yes.
CBO.
Yes.
Now, which is something that you majorly, you're passionate about. That is now the community-based organization of which you are running, which is at the heart of what you do. Now, at what point did you think, rather forgetting about the professional bit of it, at what point did you thought about bringing into being BUDA CBO, and why KILIMANI BUDA CBO?
Now, the story is nice. I must say that when I decided to go into private practice and try and see how well we can help the community in terms of preventive approaches of dealing with health, I thought it was going to be very easy. I thought the level at which we are economically, as a country, as a county, as a sub-county, even as a location, we don't have those extreme poverty levels. I think I was living in a world where I was thinking, I think everybody is just at par, and we are basically, let's say, medium to high earners. Only to find out that from the community that I come from, the good population are the low-income earners. And these people, it's not like they do not want help in terms of health. It's like they cannot afford just proper medical care. And reaching there, you would want to do a private facility to sort them out. But of course, they cannot even raise 10 bob to buy just a pack of paracetamol. True. Many of them, you find out they're having health challenges that they would need maybe nutritional talks, like those ones who are suffering from diabetes and hypertension, who are many at this time. And they would, the platform to offer them that was not there, because you need the facility, you need the time, you need the space. Again, if you take too much of your time doing that, there's no return on that investment. And you're thinking, now what is going to happen? And yet again, your passion is still there. Then you meet again the adolescent and youth that are having a walk in their growth, and they're now having a growth spurt. And in that, they're having now puberty to handle. And you really have to have talks with them now, because now in our setup, parents don't have that time to sit with children because they're out there hustling. So these children are left by themselves to fend for themselves, to take care of themselves across the day. And they meet challenges that relate to their sexual and reproductive health. And they need someone within the community to tell them and guide them about their sexuality. And again, you cannot again do that for free forever. So we had to come up with a model of how we can actually meet the cost of bringing that kind of care to the community. And that's when I got that inspiration to do a community-based organization where we can structure the service that you're giving to the community and put there the beneficiaries, put there those who can support the kind of work that we are doing, and us volunteer our time, volunteer our expertise, so that we can be able to deliver. So in that model, the only thing that would fit that kind of a triangle was a community-based organization. And that is how we came with BUDA CBO. And BUDA, why? Many people ask BUDA. I tell them, this BUDA is just, it's not an acronym, where B stands for something, you know. Uko geto BUDA ni baba. So most times when we came down to do community work, community outreach and all that, most people saw me as a father figure. And when we were doing those mentorship camps for the youth, doing those cancer screening for the wamama, most saw a father figure, and they would refer to me, hey, BUDA unasemaje leo? BUDA umekuja. So we thought, now as we are starting a community-based organization, we can just use this name BUDA because it shows someone who cares, someone who fosters, someone who takes care of the community. So we came up together as young people from TA and professionals from various fields, not just doctors alone. And I told them, now that you people have ventured into so many other things, it's good also to give back to the community. So we called ourselves into like about a number of about 10 people. And we said we are going to set something aside every month to support this initiative where we can go out, promote health, go out, sort out issues about the youth. So technically speaking, that is how we raised the inspiration behind BUDA, and that is how we crafted BUDA to come out.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, before now, you tell us what you deal as BUDA
Yes.
CBO.
Yes.
I'm so also keen to understand, because as young people, sometimes we are motivated by money, and
Yes.
what is it that I'm getting personally? What is it that I'm benefiting as a person? But yourself, you gave out to your services at some point for free. I'm so keen also to understand about what was it that was motivating you to keep doing it without even benefiting directly from these people that you're helping out. Because I know of young people who have benefited from your mentorship. I know young people who have benefited from you being the BUDA. What was the motivation behind this? Like, keep doing it, keep going before even you hand something from it. And also, as we speak to the young people, sometimes is it a must for somebody to get money from it for you to keep on doing whatever you're doing?
I must say, like, it was once shared that money answers a lot of things, and money in some other forums, people say that it makes the world go round. In my own interpretation, I think it reaches a part in life where you just want something that can give you fulfillment. Something that can give you actualization, and it runs the whole system for you. So for me, I really need the money, yes. But I think, come to think of it, what do you actually need the money for? And if your basic needs are food, shelter, and clothing, and you can take care of that, then what do you do with the extra that you have? And I'm glad that I'm someone who was raised from the Christian kind of perspective, where a story is told of two people who are giving out, a rich person and a very poor woman. So the rich person, out of his richness, he gave all that he could afford to give. Of course, he didn't give everything. But there was this mama who was very poor, and he had only 2 cents. And when the parable is said, a question was asked between this rich man and this woman, who gave it all? And it was said that it is the rich man. Then Jesus said, no, it is the mama.
Yeah,
Yes, why? All she had was the 2 cents, and she gave it all. But this one had much and did not even give even a quarter of what they have. So in giving, I believe there is fulfillment. In giving, there is a return. In a good measure. The things that open up for you because you are a giver. And even today, I must say, when I heard Trump say that I think we are withdrawing funds from the USAID. Most people, most programs that are run in this country by USAID, most very big programs, very flashy programs that are being run, some of us have not even benefited for USAID, and we are running organizations. We were not like stricken or perturbed by that. But what we gained from that is that the American people have learned to give. And when you read the slogan of USAID, it says that for the American people, from the American people. It means there is someone, Pale America, who is seated down and is donating a coin, a dollar, a quarter, so that it can be all collected together to support communities that cannot help themselves. So for us, we need also to practice that as a nation. We cannot like really rely on Western world, even just ourselves. What are we doing about ourselves? Because Dan, if you are a professional, I am a professional. Do we really have to wait for a Mzungu to do something for us, yet we are the ones, and our children, our cousins, our brothers, and the ones benefiting from this? So back for us, we really wanted to give back to our community. Where we really wanted to have what we call community-based solutions for our problem, because the American people do not actually know how we do things, our systems run, our culture, and they want to come and bring us help. They do not know how to give us that help. They have to come and learn, then give. But for us, if we do it ourselves, we save a lot of time, because we already know where the shoe hurts, and we can come up with a solution for that. It is customized, it is well blended. So I think for us, it's just about coming together and giving back.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, as we go also to now your objective as a CBO, what are your structures like? What are the areas that you are concentrating on? Before you tell us that, ladies and gentlemen, remember you're coming to you live on Facebook and also on YouTube. This is the CEO show, and our guest tonight is Kelvin Kibore, who is the patron and also the founder of Kilimani CBO, and they are doing amazing things back to the community and back to the society. The question that we are asking tonight, what are you doing back at home? What are you doing for the society? What are you doing for the community? And also tell us where you're watching from, and if you're getting us loud and clear, please don't hesitate to tell us on the comment section so that we make this more interactive as always. Now, Kevin, talking now about your structures, and what are some of the areas that you guys are seriously concentrating on? Because I know the society have a lot of ailments, but what are the areas that you guys have zeroed down to?
We as Kilimani BUDA CBO are interested in 4 areas. We are interested in health. We are interested in youth skill and talent development. We are interested in economic empowerment and so much more. When we talk about economic empowerment, it's wide. So our focus area is in the small enterprises within the mitas, the kibandas and kiosks, the owners of that, and trying to see how they can structure up to be nice enterprises. And lastly is we focus on social participation. From Constitution 2010, power was taken to the people. Most of the decisions in our governance structure are starting from the grassroots. Apparently, most of the people in the grassroots do not understand that power that was given to them. Those things that we call social participation or public participation are the bedrock of community and national development. And so we are there as a community-based organization to make sure our people are more aware and they get more involved, included into the structures of starting making decisions from the grassroots level. So in those 4 areas of health, youth talent and skill development, economic empowerment, and social participation, that is where our energy is. And we started from health. When we started with the health issues, we now discovered health is not the only concern these people are having. Because after talking to the adolescent and youth, you come to discover that most of them are idle, they are just at home, and they are jobless. Some of them are done with school, some of them are dropouts. They're dropouts because their parents were running a very kind of tight economic life, and they could not sustain them, so they ventured into crime, they ventured into drugs, early pregnancy. Now, in that youthful population, you come and discover HIV that was long gone is again starting to rise. We are having new HIV cases, and because of the under 24s. Most people who are turning out to be HIV positive right now are under 24s. So when we saw such things within the grassroots, then we discovered there is the need to reach out to that young person and add value to what he's doing. So if they cannot go back to school, can they earn a skill? And I love what Dandan you're doing about the issue about clothing, textile, and design. And you see, that is something that if somebody gains that knowledge, you are very comfortable with that person going out there and fending for themselves. So that is the kind of structure we want to bring to the community. It's not a must that, and you see now CBC came to even strengthen what we were doing. Because now if these young people can get a skill and develop it, they've earned themselves a job. And the community is now better because there are more earners there. Most of us were raised by parents. If you do a baseline survey in our catchment, it's called Kilimani location. That is why we are called Kilimani BUDA CBO. So we hail from Kilimani location. Most of us have a parent that has a small business. One can be employed, but the other parent you'd find out has a small business. Most of the parents within Kilimani location own a small business. Kuna kakibanda mahali, kuna kabiashara. Ile sisi huwa tunaita huko kwetu uradi. Kuna kauradi mtu anafanya. So with that in mind, we said we cannot assume the issue of business development. And that is why we have pushed our people to go into groups, because we do not have shambas, we don't have source of capital and all that. So we are pushing them into groups, give them training together with partners on business skills and development, teaching them on table banking, and just showing them that that small idea that you have, you can craft it and make it an enterprise. And that again is employment for our people.
Okay.
And last but not least, the issue about social participation. We really want the young people to be involved in issues of governance. And we are pushing them into those rooms where people are discussing issues about development. When those public participation exercises are being announced, we make sure we amplify that voice. Unajuaga county sometimes just does a very small advertisement na wanatuma kwa gazeti. But again, we come in as a CBO, we take that and we distribute it on all our community platforms. We make sure we even look for transport to take these young people there so that they can really understand. We are really passionate about the young person and the woman attending those meetings so that they can make a decision and turning up to give suggestions. Even teaching them on how to do memos. Some of this public participation, you don't have to be there. You can do a memo and submit it to the Ministry of Devolution at the county so that your tech is taken care of. So that is what Kilimani Buda CBO is doing in the community.
Okay.
Yes.
Just to dealing now on the 4 issues that you guys are dealing with.
Yes.
Now, also about the young people, we are seeing the government doing a lot with regard to in terms of financing and also pushing on TVETs and people to go for skills, because currently we rarely find job opportunities where we can find white collar kind of jobs.
Yes.
Are the youths outside there ready to learn this skill? Are they willing to go outside there and use their own hands to earn a living, compared to back in the days where somebody could say that you are successful when you learn it?
Now, I must say, we've done a number of interaction with the young people. The breed of young people that we have in this country, or rather in this age, are quite different. I think they have been drowned into this issue of tech, and they don't believe in hands-on job. I don't know whether you've had the same experience in your institution, but in ours, you find out that many young people who come out right now from high school, and you are trying to talk to them, even those who have dropped out, let's say, and you're trying to tell them now, what is your plan now, from now henceforth? They have not even resolved. All they know is that their parent, they have not thought about it. All they know is that their parent is going to do something to make them better. Their parent is going to take them somewhere and become better. Ask them, now you are done with school, what do you want to become? Or what do you think you're going to do? They are not aware. And they're not bothered. Now that is the worst part about it. They are not even worried that now I don't know what to do, and it still doesn't worry me. So we have a generation that if we do not take care of, we are going to have a challenge.
Okay.
So for us as a community-based organization, we saw the reason why again. We should pull them out from the traditional learning structures, concepts and people going to class and learning, and first creating a safe space where they can come in and we try and alter their thinking pattern, their mindset. If we can be able to change their mindset first to accept skill, then it's going to be very easy for them to adapt a skill. We did a baseline survey just like 2 months ago. In one of those questions, we wanted to ask them what is their greatest priority right now. They all say they want money. And again, if you ask them in another question, what do you think you can get for money? That question went unanswered. So they do not have an idea of how to make money, but they really want money. So it means these are the people who will be coerced very easily to do very wrong things because their motivation is
objective is money.
They do not want to know how they're going to make it. All they want is the money. So I think in that space, we need something like NYS. I think it was doing something very good. The one who developed such kind of an idea, something that can just instill discipline, merit in them, craft a mindset that people can learn something to develop and be better. It would be very good. And that is what BUDA CBO is doing right now. We are running what we call Kituo Youth Mentorship, where we're just having a conversation with them, trying to realign their mindset before they go to college. So they can have that incubation space so that they can mature into something. Even before they choose to be a doctor, they choose to be a teacher. Because some of them go into that medicine. Immediately after first year, somebody goes into drugs, skips out class, and they amount out to be nothing. So for us, we want a very stable society, Palembele. So we really need to get that incubation space for them.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, because the basic unit of every society is the family.
Yes.
Do you think there is a gap, or there is some loose hands that the family has not taken care of? Talk about parents, talk about guardians. Are they rolling back their sleeves, or are they folding back their hands? They don't care, or is it that they're too busy to give time to these young people?
Yes. I don't know about other Kenyan societies, but let me speak about where I come from.
Yeah.
Like I said, I will draw us back. When you go, even right now, if we take a ride back, it's now heading to, nine, yeah? Yeah, it's heading to 9. And we visit homes. Right now, in my hood, parents are not yet home. Parents are busy hustling. When they come, they are tired. They just left kidogo money for these people to prepare something small. Yes, for themselves. The interaction time they have with the children is small. These children will have to wake up at about 6 when this guy is still tired. The parents are still looking for what to do. The mama is running a kiosk business, so they have to be pale sokoni by 5, 6. So the children leave when mama has gone to soko. So actually, I must say and second what you've just shared, that the challenge that we're having back there in our community is this: absentee parents. So fostering a good trait that would again raise a good and healthy and moral society is not there. Kids are now being parented by the social media. They are being parented by some social perverts who are neighbors and all that. So they pick up very, very wrong concepts. Like from my hood, a kid would share a very vulgar sentence with you. You'd really wonder what kind of, who's been talking to this kid about this? But it's things they learn from where they walk around and supervise. So how well will they be, or how better are they going to grow up to become? So I would say that the family, which is a basic structure, I think in our place has failed.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm just listening to you, and from the word Buddha, thanks to the young people are falling to your hands.
Yes.
But I'm sure there are other young people who are falling to other connotations of Buddhas.
Yes,
who teach them different ways.
Yes, different.
It's quite unfortunate, but
yes.
it's something that our parents should come in and
yes.
also play their role as parents.
Yes.
Very important. Another thing is about now the challenge with you've talked about even young people currently being HIV positive and suffering from different ailments. Also being part of the objective as a CBO. We'll talk about now health. Considering now the structure that we have in government, do you think it's supportive to the common person down there? And we have the issue of SHA currently. We've had people complaining that sometimes it's not working, but do you think it's the future? And being with the person there in the community, do you think the person at the ground there can feel or can get the medication, all those services quite easily compared to back in the days, or where's the future?
Now, I must also reveal something to you. I think it has now come up in the middle of the show, but I think it will serve us good. Through what I've been able to do with Kilimani Buda CBO, in partnership with all the players and members that we have within the CBO, we managed to secure a community position. That was a competitive position. I'm currently the chairman of Mama Rachel Ruto Maternity Hospital, which was formerly called West Maternity. It is the greatest maternal and child facility in Eastern Central Africa, I can bet. And what I can tell you about that is that we really need to do some work in terms of making sure that service delivery at the grassroots comes to a level above 60%. Because from what the experiences we are having right now, like I said, in just a catchment where I come from, we are having about, let's say, 10 to 15,000 households. And with 10 to 15,000 households, that's a population of like almost 250,000. And the only working facilities that are serving that catchment, and they would say they are up to standard facilities, are two. It is Mama Rachel and Huruma. Now, how many of these people have been registered into SHA? There are very few. Because even as we speak right now, there are still people who are coming in, young people who are coming in, who have seen the advertisements, they have interacted with the advertisements from the Social Health Authority, and they have seen the kind of model we have in terms of social health security. And they have not interacted with that platform, and they are not gaining from SHA. And there is no one who can break that information down to them and tell them this is something that is working. I've basically tried SHA. And, you know, the government has made that thing very complex, put some AI inside there, an AI that is going to even guess for you your contribution and all that. And it scares people away. And you see, when people see that, then, and they don't get the basic, we have been raised from a culture where we go to a facility and it does not meet our basic health needs. You just even want a simple drug, and it is not there. So somebody is saying, why should I now give this money to the Social Health Authority, yet even basic commodities are not found? So the government is telling us, now we want you to give us a benefit of doubt. This thing is great, this thing is going to work. But you know, the systems at the grassroots still need a lot of work. We really need mobilization at the grassroots to make sure there are more people on board. We need also to push the government so that they can push more funds into the facilities. And I'm glad, even in this county today, we are moving into something called FIF that was drawn out some time back, what is called Facility Improvement Fund. And we are looking at that and seeing it's going to be something that is going to now to strengthen the facility. Because money that is going to be paid at the facility is going to support the facility to acquire what it needs. As opposed to the central kind of governance where all money is going to the central kitty, then to be distributed to the facility. That is where we're having the gaps where service cannot be good. But if you introduce my solution, and I'd back it anytime, is if FIF can be brought back to the facility, then it means now we can tackle the issues of a facility from that level. We do not have to march to the governor to sort out our issues, because it is either the board or the hospital manager that have disrupted services. But otherwise, everything is there. SHA is working. From the facility that I am at, if you have a cover, you walk in and walk out. Yes, you go in, it's a maternal facility, so they are getting anything related to deliveries, and we even run CSS there, we do normal deliveries there, we handle complications that are related to delivery, and all these are covered by SHA. So we just need to push our people into that scheme.
And embracing it.
Embracing it, and after that, making sure so the facility has some backup for supplies, and that is that FIF that you're talking about, the Facility Improvement Fund. We are even talking about, it's not going to improve the issue of supplies alone, even issue of giving motivation to the staff who need to work even for more hours, because again, we don't have enough health practitioners. So sometimes you need someone longer there. How do you motivate that person to work even for 2-3 more hours before we get someone else on board? So technically speaking, we still need a lot of work in terms of managing the health sector, and we really need it to come back to the grassroots, and we still need a lot of conversation towards that.
Okay, now that is amazing. Now about the pillar number 3, that is now about business support, and also ensuring that the people around you are benefiting either from guidance, support, and all that, and also plus education, because we are saying the current economic times that we are in, the people are struggling, and it cuts across. We find some other businesses are closing down and all that, and also we have these startups, small businesses, because here also we try to educate our viewers on the importance of starting small, starting that small business and pushing it up there. Do you feel, what are some of the challenges that you think the young people are facing down, especially the startups, at this time and age that we are currently? Because you engage with them on day-to-day basis.
One of the things that we are trying to culture in terms of those small enterprises is the part of cultivating patience in the small business people, cultivating discipline is the other thing. That someone can, raise capital, learn how to raise capital, no matter how small, investing it back, and being disciplined enough to plow it back into the business. The challenge is that by the time someone is starting business, and that is what we try and encourage most of the people that we talk to, mtu akona pressure fulani, kuna kitu inamkimbiza, as that is what we would like to say when we are back there at the hood, that you come up with a business idea simply because now you are in between a rock and a hard place. Now at that point you are not able to be like very stable in making those business decisions. So we really want to encourage someone to start a business, but not huko kwetu tunasemaga usiweke shida zote hapo kwa hiyo kabiashara kako kadogo kenye umeanza. Don't put all your troubles and problems into that small investment you know. You'd either want to balance it out with something else. You'd want to start it off as a side hustle, get something main to do, or something like a small kibarua or anything. Then let this be like you're starting small, just like you say, as something on the side that can add onto the basket to make you have a better life, Yes.
But you're assuming this is now a hold that they have.
Yes. Yeah. Now you see, that is the assumption now again. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have so many people with businesses again, and the businesses are not running. And that is why again, you are pushing them into concepts of doing group. You see? So that we can see whether we can raise the capital base of what they're investing in. And why are we introducing table banking? We're introducing table banking because it is banking at sight and at the moment. So you're given money, and that money is all that is there, and you just have to budget with whatever you have. And again, by the time we meet next week, you must have the seed that you had plus a bit of interest. So just trying to motivate a culture where people can run very small businesses with very small capital and try as much as they can to make it grow. It is a really hard concept, I must say. It's a very hard concept, and when someone is not patient enough to do that, at one point they just fall out, and they now are desperate. They need something to do, they need a job and all that. But for those who are patient enough to persevere, yes, to go down with it, I've seen a good number come out from the circles they were, even just transforming their lives from one class to another, just because of that small thing that they're doing. As simple as a young girl coming to learn about business skills, forming their own small chama, and buying fruits and hawking it around the kijiji in a small tin at 50 bob. And you see that young person, within no time, they're having a stable kind of job.
Okay.
Yes, and you see them grow. Okay. I've seen someone at a corner raising capital, because the hardest thing about that is raising capital. True. So I mean, there's no easy way around that. It's either you borrow or you run a very basic way of resource mobilization. Talk to a friend, come up with a budget, come up with a plan, talk to a friend, talk to family, do a mchango, do a fundraiser, get the starting capital, get to know what you need to start, and invest in it and say, this is what I want to do, let me run with it. And basically that.
Okay, another problem that we find with our young people, especially with business, now that there's also a platform to share about these nuggets of business, we also have this challenge of competition. That Kevo, you are doing this business, unauza chai and you're doing good, and then I see that it seems that's a niche that I need to venture into. Kesho najipata dandana anauza chai pia, and then all of a sudden you change to something else, or you found somebody else doing this. We have this. You find the question about now it's about being somebody else's life.
Yes.
Because they were saying they want to make money, but they don't know how.
Yes.
So they find themselves either competing to be like somebody, or they are competing with somebody, or they want to be like somebody. Is it a menace that we are facing in the society currently, the young entrepreneurs?
You just said it. That these guys want money, but they lack innovation. They lack in deep insights of what they want to do. They do not know even the business you do goes with the passion that you have. It's very easy for me to run a clinic, because I have passion in medicine and serving people and serving humanity. So it becomes easy. I don't feel like it's a waste of time. I don't feel like I just have to do it. There's the inward drive of doing it. There are people who have a very poor PR just from birth, or let me say it's genetic. Maybe it's their own thing, and maybe they were born with it. And this person still wants to become a hawker or someone who peddles items. That person cannot be able to do that. And yet, there are people who are born with some charm. Yeah, they know how to talk to people, they know how to pull friends around, they know how to... That person given mandazi in a basket and tea, they would really sell it. So the issue about duplication, and that is why I tell someone, when you see someone else opening a business next to you that looks like yours, don't get worried. Because the motivation and the idea behind what you're doing is like...
different.
Very different. Yes, and I've raised like... when I was in the entertainment world, I've raised like 5 entertainers. They all do different things, but we were in the same space. As we have a record company called Walawi Records, and from there, some of them became MCs, some of them became instrumentalists, some of them have become producers, some of them walked out of production and events and entertainment business and have ventured into something else. We even had a friend who was into production, and at the middle of the journey, a young person decided, now I'm going to do stationery. And funny enough, stationery has worked for them. So I think it's just to encourage those people we interact with that it's good to interrogate yourself and really find out like where is your passion, where is your drive, and probably invest in something that you're passionate about. Yes, even singing from a corner of a street can earn you money. Yeah.
Just getting outside there.
Yes.
Now, because our time is my spent,
yes,
and I wish to tackle a number of issues.
Yeah.
Also now, critically talking about now the young people getting involved in governance, and that is something that also you guys are advocating on. Do you think the young person, are we ignorant or are we curious? What kind of the young person that we have currently in the society? And now, as an organization, how are you fostering to ensure that these young people play a critical role in decision making, in governance, and also in participating in what is happening, so that we don't have issues because probably we might have in the near future, I don't know, we might have BUDA being the president, BUDA being the, you never know.
You never know these things.
Are the young people making their choices rise? Because we are seeing Gen Zs rising up. Are we making the right moves as the young people?
Let me say, like I said, from just a baseline survey, I don't think these young people, let me call them, I like calling them under 24s. We have under 34s and we have under 24s. The under 24s do not have actually a drive towards issues of leadership and governance. They don't have a burden for that. Very few of them have a burden for that. And this is because we have lived in a failed state as a nation for a long time, systems that do not work. I want Dandani to take time and read some of these public policies that we have. Yes? Things that were created to govern our economical plans in the country, things that were developed, policies that were developed to govern education. Let me tell you, we have very proper, well-knit documents. But the only challenge we have as a country is the implementation phase of it. And because over time we've not been able to implement it right, then we have had a nation or civilians or the public that have lost interest in structures. We want quick fixes. We want to sort out things that affect us now. We are not interested about the future. And that is the young person that we have, majorly. So to build a drive in them so that they can be able to know, because one Japanese once said that the only problem we have in Africa is that they cannot sacrifice for the future. They do not know how to do that. That is what the Asian tigers are saying about us. And you see, for our case here, there's no easy way about it. we have to advocate, we have to champion, we have to slogan, we have to cry out. We have to tell these young people that it's a high time they sit back, think about the future, think about their position, and that phrase that we used to use, that hawa ndio viongozi wa kesho. So you cannot just fika kesho and become a leader. There's a way you culture.
Start from now.
Yes, it starts from now. Just from the small basic responsibility.
Okay.
Like we teach people from the grassroots. When you don't find a place to litter, carry the litter in your pocket until you find a place you can litter. So something small like that, you cannot start when that person is a leader. Okay. We start from now. Now that is the only thing that like we as the Buda CBO are doing right now. We are showing this guy that yes, you want to be a leader tomorrow. There are attributes that you have to polish right now. There are things that you have to work on right now, so that at the end of the day, you muscle up to be someone who can deliver in terms of leadership. Okay. But it is key to get them to participate. Okay. Because apparently, most problems that we have in this nation, if you're going to assess very right, it's the youths that are suffering. Funny enough, it's the youth that are more. When you talk about the numbers, these are people who are about 60% of our population. When you talk about having a joblessness rate of 5%, in that 5%, the 60% are the youth. If you look at the people who are committing suicide, are the youth. Majority. So it is a high time we call them out. And that is why I left 25th of June last year. When that day comes in my mind, I feel very happy because I see a young person that can come up and ask for a few questions. And the president can come there and say, now, let's talk. If we can have that situation in this near future, we are going to have very sober leaders. Okay. And there is no easier way done. We have to be intentional. We have to purpose to make sure these youths understand that. Okay. We have to take our time and do that. Okay. Yes.
Now, we are seeing rising CBOs. A good number of them are coming up.
Yes.
And when we have rising CBOs, at some point it means that they are coming in to fit into a gap. And this gap is given by the government. Probably, for example, what you guys are doing, talk about health, talk about skill empowerment to the young people. At some point, it's something that also the government should be doing. And I presume that if the government could be doing the right thing and also having the right structures handling these issues, we could not, at some point we could not have a good number of CBOs that are coming. Are you coming from the same school of thought? Do you think the government has some failures? That is why we have these good numbers of CBOs that are coming in, because we are coming in to fit a certain gap which has been provided by some structures in the government. What is your thought about the same?
My thinking is very clear. That the rise of CBOs means there's a great gap between the state and the grassroots. And if at all there has to be some change at the grassroots, then there has to be a player who comes in to
substitute.
Yes, to substitute. Yes. And the rise of CBOs is simply because the communities are now enlightened. And they know what they need, and they need a voice to come out and present their issues so that they can be sorted out. And in my very sessions that I have with any player, even when we are raising these young people, we are telling them the role of a CBO. It's basically simple. The CBO is a bridge. It is a bridge between that very community and the outside world. The advantage of a CBO is this: it does not link you to the state alone, it links you to the globe. Because if the state cannot support the challenges that this community is going through, the CBO eliminates that community, shows its strength, shows its weaknesses, and bridges it to help from wherever. We do not have to. It shows now some sense of independence from that community. And that is what will take us places, because the community is now taking up responsibility. It is now participating in its own growth. It's not going to throw its weight on the government so that it can bring solutions. We are crafting models of how we can help ourselves out. Okay. And that, again, also helps the government on its burden to reduce it.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what are some of the challenges? You're running a CBO currently. what are some of the challenges that you encounter on day-to-day basis to ensure that something that you have to overcome for you to ensure that this great organization see the light of the day?
Our greatest challenge is resource. And when I say resource, from money, manpower, equipment, machinery that we need to deliver on what we are planning to do, the time. Most of us, when we are working in that grassroots sector, we are volunteers. So it means when you're doing this and you feel like, well, my responsibility are not being met, then it means you have to put a halt on what you're doing, and you go and fend in a certain way so that you can come back again, pick up what you are doing as an initiative to make the community better. So when we lack time, we lack the facilities, I mean the machinery and all that to do our work. When we lack money, and we lack people who can come up and help us do this, because again, if all of us also dedicate our time, we become philanthropic, and that's why we also teach about community philanthropy. When we teach people to dedicate their time into community service, then it means we have very many players who can donate time towards community development. Then it becomes better. You don't have to rely on one person to do some community work. So for us as a CBO, the greatest challenge is raising for that resource. And that is the challenge of any community grassroots outfit like ours. The next thing is hostile environments, or rather hostile communities experiencing hostility. Every time a community grassroots rises, we have been set in a way that it is viewed as a political movement. And these political players have become an hindrance to the work we do, because someone sees it as an interference to the work that we are doing. And because a CBO is still doing the same things that a local politician is doing. And he's feeling like if this CBO becomes prominent, then it's a threat to what I'm doing. These people are not going to see the value of who I am. So the politicians want to fight these community outfits not to come out and be loud, because they feel it's going to throw them out of power. Another thing is, I would say, I don't know how to place this, but in a nutshell, I can say our culture, how we've been raised. We have not been raised in the art of giving back. So most of the people in the community, when they hear about an initiative, even just a simple cleanup program, where they are living in a very bad state or environment, you call out people in the morning and tell them, hey, we cannot wait for the county to clean for us our board. Let's go out there, look for these things ourselves, clean up our place. You find still people sitting back, and there's someone who's waiting for another person to do for them. Yet, once it is done, everyone celebrates and say, oh, our environment is clean, our estate is okay. But when you call out people to come and give back,
they don't want to be part of it.
Our culture is wrong.
Okay.
We do not know how to give back. Yes.
Okay. This is something that definitely I can't let you go before we have a discussion about it.
Yes.
Because you're when you BUDA and you interact with these young people. Of late, we've seen a serious rise in menace of gambling, and people have lost life, and as well as people have lost money in equal measure. It is a threat that we need to come out and speak about it. How rooted is it in the community with the young people?
It's a menace. Yes, kuna hii kitu siku hizi nasikia sijui inaitwa ndege, inaburuka, alafu inaanguka chini. I mean, that is, and today I was somewhere and they were discussing and say there's somebody who spoiled one of those betting sites, and it's not earning the way they used to earn. And a young man was telling the others, I used to earn like 5K in a week out of gambling. And it's as a result of a failed structure. Yes, because one, we have so many of young people. They have access to gadgets. Like I said, they love gadgets. They want money. They don't know how to get it. But if I have 20 bob, I can earn 2,000. I can even earn 1 million. Who would not want to believe that if you've not taught them something else or how better else to earn?
But how real is it now?
Let me tell you, from the young man's point of view, this is work. For them, they see it as work. Because now you tell him to leave gambling, what else is he going to do? You see?
What are you giving in exchange?
Exchange for that. Now, again, on the other side, on the flip side of it, they're getting into a mental kind of situation where it's what we call a risk they are taking. And the high risks they are taking over time is making them vulnerable in a way. And it's interfering with their mental state. Because once this person goes into the losing streak, it actually destroys that person, because they're highly dependent on that. They have raised their stakes. They want to win and win so badly. It also becomes like that dependency people develop when they're onto those hard drugs like cocaine and all that. So they even start exhibiting withdrawal symptoms. So it is a bad thing, because I think that is the worst thing about gambling. It gets you into a motion, or rather a circle, where you feel like you still have to do it. You still have to do it, and you become dependent. And yet you're depending on chance. Yes, which is something not sustainable. So it means at one time, if you start failing and you go into a streak of failing, then it destroys you completely. So the other solution for that, or rather the main solution for that, we cannot just walk there and tell them don't gamble. What are we doing so that they can trade gambling for something that is more positive and something that is going to give them mental stability? Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So that is something that, do you think is there a role, because we've seen the government publishing a good number of sites, that is betting sites. Do you think the government is doing enough to help this young person? Because we've been battling drugs with the young people. Now this is a new drug, because it is holding them to hostage to some extent.
Yes.
It raises a very lazy society.
Yes.
Because quick money, and sometimes it creates an illusion. Do you think now the government is doing enough to ensure that they trade something with this to the young person?
I don't think. I think, like I said, I think we've lived long in a failed state. Failed structures and all that. So there's no particular thing or a particular burden that the government carries towards just saying. I think the only burden they have is the luxury of space and just saying that, oh, these young people should not gamble. And it just becomes like a PR stunt. But ideally, what should happen is that I think they should even peg. I mean, if they should be even a way, like you assess a gambler before they go into gambling. I mean, you cannot even gamble what you don't have. So if there is a way to lock even these young people out of this, it's just to do, say there is even a gambling license, you see, that an individual needs to have so that they can be qualified into gambling, and assessment of some kind. But just saying that the sites are open, you can log in, you can log out, no restrictions, and technically speaking, I think the government needs really to do something about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're a good singer. Do you still sing?
I sing a lot.
Okay.
I even was singing before I came into the show.
Oh.
I came in singing, in fact.
Okay. Are you handing something from it? Before you tell us that you're singing Johnny, I think just to appreciate our viewers who are still, we're saying that Kimberly Akinyi is saying that he's logged in. We have Sadok Olukusi, who is saying that he's watching from Bunyore. And then Malaki To is saying that he's tuned in. We have Koecha Isaac he's saying that educative conversation watching from Iten EMC. Nixon Teta is saying that excellent show, bravo, Dan. This is our future guest, Nixon Teta. Thank you, sir. Vivian Cherop is saying that I'm a witness of the support Buddha gives the community, especially mentoring the youth on mental health issues, giving them skills. Kevo, you will one day achieve your dream. Keep doing it. And this is a serious motivation. And then also Anthony Sang is saying that good work, Kibore. Josie Cherop is saying that bravo. Engineer Toki Kosgei Joe is saying that every company should incorporate community work or partner with CBOs. Giving back to the community is a blessing in itself. Watching from Nairobi, Kenya, Boniface Kibore is saying the best show. That is encouraging. The question to my friend Mr. Kevin Kibore is saying how is your media house going on? You have a media house. You'll tell us about that. And then we have Laban Gataya is saying kudos brother. Indeed, Buda CBO has impacted lives of many people positively. May you guys continue with the good work you are doing. Lemayan Lema is saying super guy. Hate this one. Thanks so much, Lema. Chirchir Felix anasema nice one sir. Then Lil Koima is saying great insights, and other who are still commenting. Thank you so much, guys, for keeping this conversation going and also making your worthy comments coming in. As we wind up this conversation, Buda, you're still learning from singing, and how did the journey end? How did it start? What's going on?
That's a very interesting,
yes.
It's a very interesting conversation. Eh?
Yes.
At the moment, in terms of earning, I'm at recess. But what I can really say is that it's something that I would earn from it at any one time, because from the journey of art, I think I should even do a song for this the CEO show.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I should come up with a few lines and do a thorough vocal on the tune, an original thing, and even earn from it, because I've already seen this show is going places, and there are already guys who have invested in this thing, and I can also earn from it. But I want to say that for my music, I've been able to do live music and live performances. So we do that for weddings and corporate events and all that. Anytime I'm called upon, those people who know the kind of an artist I am and the kind of work I do, those people will still believe. I used to go by the name and still go by the name Walawi. And
also you have a production house.
Yes, we have a production house. And on the side, I think every idea that I had, I crafted it into the CBO. It is now what has given rise to what we call Buda Radio. So we have a community radio coming up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that it can really voice the issues of our community and even link us up to so many other opportunities out there. So we are in the stage of licensing the radio station, and it's going to be both a production house and also a community radio station. So I think it is something that I would not say that I cannot do music, I cannot do art, I cannot do that. It's something that continues, because it's part of what we are trying to teach the young people, doing art and skill and crafting it to something that you can earn. Yes, so I do a bit of Lingala. Kasi nazotia miso nangai likolo ya ngomba, nazotala lisi nangai eko bima wapi. Can I give you my M-Pesa number?
We can say the M-Pesa number will be at the bottom of the screen. Make sure that you support.
You said something.
Okay. Now, because at some point I tend to ask, what is it that you don't do?
I'm a jack of all trades. That is the last thing I think I had not mentioned. I can almost do anything. In fact, it's only that I think...
What is it that you can't do?
I mean, I think I can do all things through Christ who can strengthen me.
That's a good thing. Now, Kevo, as we end up this conversation, and also as you prepare to give us your parting shot.
Sure.
Now, there is also always a question about, somebody talks about a CBO, an NGO, a foundation, because sometimes we have these people who wish to give back. Where are the lines now? Talk about NGO, CBO, and foundation. What are the major differences? What is it that separates the three?
I think it's jurisdiction. By jurisdiction, I mean the boundaries that you can serve and support. Like the name suggests, a community-based organization rises and is being managed by members of a particular or said community. So like for you to run a CBO, you have to be well defined from a certain community. And that's why we are called Kilimani. We can run through the county, but if we have to go to another county, we have to get registered and be affiliated to a community. Yes, because we are actually sorting out the issues of a community. For a non-governmental organization, it's sort of an umbrella body. It doesn't handle very specific needs for communities because they are looking at a very wider scope, and they most of the time look to be national, you see, regional in this sense that they would want to work in more than 1 or 2 countries and all that. And when you talk about a foundation, most of the time foundations are very specific. Like when you hear about a Heart-to-Heart Foundation, when you hear about KCB Foundation, when you hear about Safaricom Foundation, they've been crafted to support directly their call for the needs or the burden they have for the change they want to see in a particular way. So there are people who even start foundation. I know of a friend who very soon is going to start a Kalia Foundation, yeah? And this guy will tell you he wants to raise young lawyers. I know it's an idea the guy is hatching up. It's only that he has not met a few big guns here and there, but I know the guy. He's going to start maybe something like Kalia Foundation, and it's going to be very specific, yeah? And it's maybe going to raise school fees for young lawyers or young people who are passionate about law and all that. So I think foundations are geared towards a very specific cause. And that is why the country very recently, and I know you're going to invite me again.
Definitely.
Yes, so so there is this what they've introduced called the Public Benefits Authority and Public Benefits Organization. We are all going to be clustered into one basket. The way Shah is doing things, in fact, they are giving us a deadline this May, so that we're supposed all to be onboarded, and there's what they call a PBO Act. It's a long conversation. We are still having it both on the regional and national platforms, and we are supposed to have a means of way that you're doing, because they have discovered that NGOs, CBOs, foundations, they are doing something for the benefit of the public, and they need to be a structured way that they are run so that the government can come in. Now the government has bought our idea that we are very helpful at the grassroots, and they cannot reach because their structures are failed. So they want to see a way they can use us to bring the social change they want to see. Yes. So it's coming up. It's called the PBO Act, and we are talking about bringing our heads together and to help and support the grassroots.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. You talked about also Kalia Foundation, and I was so keen to, I think I know if it resonates well, I think I know the person.
Yes.
But if that guy is the same guy who I know, then I'm sure it's going to go places. Okay, thank you so much. Just give us your winding remark, and then we'll have a close.
Thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for watching the CEO show by Dan Dan. Dan Dan is an inspiration to many, inspiration to us, and inspiration to what we are seeing in the land of skill development. And I've never seen a man who's risen from the Rift Valley part of Kenya doing textile and doing very good neat designs. And I want to say that if at all we could harness that within our spaces and circles in the community, then we can get people who can invest in skill, and it can employ a lot of people. Those are some of the things that we are doing as KILIMANI BUDA CBO. And I'm glad to say that I'm open-minded, I'm ready, I'm feeling like if we can have such conversations always, we are going to be out there to change the lives of our people, one life at a time. Otherwise, thank you very much. Thank you for watching us. Keep it the CEO show. Thank you very much. I think you're going to give me something to host shows here.
I think you're doing better than I can say. Thank you so much, Kevin, for having you. I think you'll be taking us to the end of this show with a line, right?
Yes.
But before you do that, thank you so much for being at the CEO show. It's been an amazing episode. I'm sure it's been inspiring and also very, very educative, as we always look forward to in this particular show. And we look forward to host you in the near future. Next time, I think we'll have a set of a serious band here so that we make it an entertaining bit of it.
Now we're talking.
I'm sure it's going to be exciting. Looking forward to that moment.
Nice.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your worthy and very important comments that you've been making on the CEO show. Probably I've not read yours, but we'll keep the conversation going even after this particular episode. I'm looking forward to also have you come next week. We also have another guest prepared for you. tackling another topic that I'm sure it's going to be exciting, also inspiring as always, and I'll be looking forward to see you come next week. I want to appreciate everybody that have been part and also who have made this particular episode a success tonight. Also appreciating the Nick Tech Creations who have been part of this particular production. These are great people who I'm sure if you have an event for them to cover up for you, please don't hesitate to contact them, and also visit their offices at Sagas Center, ground floor, for live coverage and any other kind of production that you're looking forward to. Please visit them and make this happen. And as always, we are not going to do it tonight just to go to and to end this conversation as always, but we have an artist in the house. It's going to give us a line as we go, and to wish us good night and a good week ahead of this particular session.
Asante.
From my side, I was your host, Dan. Back to you, Kevo.
Thank you. Today is my birthday, so I'm going to sing myself a birthday song.
Oh, wonderful.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Kevin. A happy birthday to you. Keep it the CEO show.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing. God bless you.
Asante sana.
Keep doing it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you. Have a good night.
Asante.
Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO